Poshfest Day 2 wrap up. Stay tuned.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey everyone, it's Stephanie from Three Queens Resale, and if you are new to my channel, thank you so much for joining me, all my new PFFs, and if you are a reseller bestie, thank you for supporting. I am so blessed to have so many reseller besties that keep coming back and that are helping me grow my positive reseller community here on YouTube. So if you're not a bestie yet, make sure you subscribe. And today's video is my recap of Poshfest Day 2 and then just like my overall impressions, which I have many. So full disclaimer, these are Stephanie's thoughts and opinions, and so you don't have to like them. And you don't have to tell me you don't like them in the comments, but if you want to, you can. I'm just going to I've had a long day. It's Sunday. So I left Friday after Posh Fest. After the, you guys took your break to go get ready for the fun party, I left for the airport because I had to get home. My mother-in-law passed away. If you remember, I had a mother-in-law pass away last year in October. So that was my husband's biological mom. And then his stepmom passed away Labor Day weekend. And we had her celebration of life yesterday here in Central Indiana. And I did not want to miss that. So he was blessed to have two wonderful women that he called mom, and he's lost them both in the past year. So sad times for our family, but I had to leave so I could get back for that because that, was definitely a priority for me. So I missed the party, but I did have some FOMO from all of your guys's cute outfits. I'm gonna be ready for next year though. I'm gonna be there next year, so get ready for the turn up next year. So yesterday. So day 2. So on day 1, breakfast was like fruit and granola and stuff. And I was like disappointed because I'm a fat girl and I'm from Indiana and I eat bacon and eggs like every single day of my life. Yes, I have high cholesterol. Oh well. But, like almost high. So on day 2, when they came through with the bacon and eggs, I could already tell it was going to be a good day because Stephanie was going to get her full protein on. So they had bacon and eggs, and I know people were like, what? But that was a big deal for me. So we started off with a hearty Midwest breakfast, and then they had the welcome, and they had the Posh Stories. If you aren't familiar with what Posh Stories are, people come on the stage and they talk about how Poshmark has impacted their life. I love the Posh Stories. I'm here for it. I wish they had people could send those in all the time, not just during Poshfest, because it's great to hear positive impact stories of people. And what I love about Poshmark is it's a community. And so I feel like I am a reseller and I sell on multiple platforms, but I'm part of the Poshmark community, and that has led me to the greater resale community. It's not like I'm part of the eBay community. I guess I could be. I need to learn more like eBay people and get involved that way. But Poshmark has made that simpler for me. So we started off with Posh Stories, and then we moved on to the matrix that moved the needle. So that was just some data. So one of the pieces of data that I took away from that session, because I'm not going to go through everything, is that over 60% of sales come through offers. I already figured that because when I send offers, I get more sales. So if you are not sending offer to likers or closet clear out, you don't have to send all the offers all the time. You could pick, maybe you only do it 2 days a week, whatever, or 2 times a month. But make sure you're selling offers. And I said in my breakout session that I spoke in, I build that into the price. So I might pad my price 20 to 30% with anticipation of sending out an offer to people. So that is the culture of Poshmark. And I believe that's the culture of a lot of reseller platforms. So that's why I don't let Brian price. Brian is my husband. I know I refer to him as my husband all the time, but I feel like I need to give him a name now. But Brian was pricing for us for like 2 days. And then I was like, you are pricing too low. We don't have room for offers. So that was a big takeaway. Like I already knew it, like felt that, but to hear them say that really was a good take. It like reinforced my thoughts. Um, and they also talked about still sharing. Poshmark is it's still important to share. They didn't talk about sharing other people's closets, but definitely like sharing your own. I thought that was interesting. So the hackathon. The hackathon is always my favorite part of Poshfest. I've only went to two Poshfest. This is my second. I didn't go to the virtual ones because I don't like virtual stuff like that. But I did take some notes for the hackathon. Did I? Oh, I took them on my phone. Let me pull them up. Because I didn't have my notepad with me that day. Give me just a second. So the hackathon is when they unveil the new things about the app. And I'm going to be doing some notes like to help I can't think. Some YouTube videos like to help people with the app because I met a lot of resellers that just didn't know all the features of the app, and it kind of reminded me of some of the features, and so I thought that might be an area to teach people about. Not that I'm an expert and know anything, but I think I can share what I know. Hold on, I can't apparently work my phone and talk. No, not there. Hold on, one more place. I might just have to go from memory, which can be fuzzy. It can be dangerous if we go from Stephanie's memory. I thought I had them. Okay, I'm going to go from memory. So the one of the things they talked about was instant payout, where you could get paid once the things hit your bank account or hit your redeemable, you could get paid right away instead of waiting the 2 or 3 days. I don't mind. It's usually in my account when I cash out, like within 24 hours anyway. So that was one of the things. Then squaring the photos, making any rectangle photo, being able to like make it square, like scale it to make it square. That was part of the hackathon. And it's not like an issue for me. I guess there are some. Sorry, my kid had a phone call. There are some like stock images that sometimes you have to like manipulate. So maybe that would be a benefit of that. And then the biggest part of the hackathon was the Posh shows. They talked about how they're excited to, and it's already in beta testing, the Posh shows. My Posh Live or Posh show is October 28th. So I'll send you more info. I'll put more info in the chats and market that as we get close to it. But it's in beta testing right now. So they talked a lot about the changes that were going to come once it came out of beta, which I won't even go through those because you'll have never known the difference. Like, because once it's open to everybody, you won't know. It'll just be new to you how it is. I'm excited about the Posh shows. I'm on Whatnot. I have tried to build an audience on Whatnot. Don't have a huge social media following. So I mean, I feel like I have like an authentic social media following, but it hasn't translated over to Whatnot, and I have over 100K followers on Poshmark, whereas on like Whatnot, I think I have like 500. So I feel like going live on Poshmark to do a Posh show might be more beneficial to me than doing Whatnot shows. But with that said, I'm not giving up on Whatnot just yet because I said I would stick it through to December, and so that's what I'm going to do. So that was from the hackathon. Let me see if there was anything else I can remember since I lost my notes. If it pops into my head, I will get back to you. So then in the round tables, we did, I decided to just do networking because I had spoken in breakout session 1 and 2 the day before. So a lot of people didn't get a chance to talk to me or ask me questions after my breakout. So I just kind of answered questions and took cards from people who wanted to ask me questions. And super exciting for me. I love meeting people. I love talking to people. I love helping them. I love thinking through like solutions to their problems together. And truly, like doing that does help me with my business. I met a lady, and she's like, she sells swimsuits and she's doing super duper well. And we talked about organizing her inventory. I met another lady who's selling hard goods, and I'm going to start saying posher, or reseller, who is selling hard goods and wanted suggestions on how to organize her hard good inventory. I actually met several hard good resellers. Um, I don't sell hard goods. I mean, here and there randomly, but it's not something that we source. So maybe it could be something that we grow into in the new year. We're talking about how to expand our sourcing as we move forward as a full time reselling family. So maybe hard goods is something that I might consider in the future. But so I just took that time to chat with people, met some great people. I met another posture from Indiana, and she's like actually really close to me, so that's awesome. And like in the city, she's in maybe like 25 minutes from me, so that's amazing. And I want to arrange like a binge trip with her and maybe some other Indiana postures who are scared to go to the bins. But definitely like priceless time making connections with other people. And then we went into the breakout sessions. So on block 1, oh, we had lunch. Lunch was good. It was like sandwiches and pasta, and I'm all about some food. The cookies were legit. I put 2 in my purse to eat on the plane, and I did eat them on the plane. So block 1, I went to Boost Your Business, a crash course. Oh yeah, a crash course on tools you need to grow. So it went over the I'm going to pull it up on my phone while I'm talking about it so I can remember some of the things I learned. It was we went into, I learned actually my seller tools. We went into Closet Insights, where it tells you how much like you've sold for the month, the day, the year, and you can see your brand insights as well, and your sales insights. Like so far for October, like my men's and women's sales are equal. And then it has like this, where this is like the blue stands for buy now, so that's the percentage. I've only had 3 sales so far in October. The buy now, and then the other one was like green is offers. So yeah. So it went through, and I've only published 1 listing in October, so we're behind. So there's lots of fun things in my closet insight. So like I said, I'll go into in-depth videos on all of this. So that was one thing I learned in there. So how you can look at like what brands are selling for you or what items within that brand, and then source those. And it is like real-time information that updates all the time. So if you can see if you have a lot of tops but tops aren't selling, like don't source any more tops, kind of thing. And then I also learned about in there my shoppers. So how to send bundles, to look at past shoppers and like send out things to them, send out offers to likers, which I kind of already knew, but it's like add likes to a bundle for people. I didn't know how like to do that if people liked a lot of things. So this does that for you, which is super cool. Um, so yeah, that's what I. And then she answered questions, and the young lady, I'm sure I followed her, but I don't have her name written down here. Was just very knowledgeable about the app. So that was very beneficial to me. And then block two, I went to which one? Oh, okay. Scaling your business, financial forecasting, and venture planning. I feel like this was the most beneficial for me because um, we are a family business and we're new at this. I was a teacher before. Like I didn't have to do taxes. This is my first year that we are full time, me and my husband, so I don't even know. Like I might have to take out a small loan to pay my taxes. But so I did have notes in this. So we talked about the tax and legal aspects, and they did talk about how they are not tax professionals. So getting a good accountant. So we are going to we have like a CPA, but we're going to get everything organized for them so that for as we move forward, it'll be easier to do our taxes. And I did learn a little bit about the difference between an LLC and an S corp. I am not going to try to repeat that information here because I am not a tax professional or a financial professional. I can barely like do my personal finance. I just don't spend money. So there's a lot of money in my account. I just try not to spend money so I don't have to like worry about money. Just pay my bills. So I do know Three Queens Resale is an S corp. So we can pay ourselves out of what we make. But I'm trying to think. I have a lot of like random notes, like my brain. So we talked about tracking everything in QuickBooks, which we currently are not, but I am going to set that up tomorrow. That is my goal, like to have that done by the end of the week. ID your customer and decide who you're trying to reach. And the quote that I wrote down, if you try to reach everyone, you reach no one. So in your reselling business, like who is your customer? And my customer predominantly is that person who is seeking to buy bread and butter items, good pre-owned condition items on the resale market. So items that, kind of fit into that $20 to $35 price range. Not to say that if I don't find a Kate Spade or some Prada boots that I won't list them, but when I'm sourcing, that's the person I have in mind. And I'm still going to stick with the women's, men's, and children's items, but I'm sticking in that lower range. That is my my person, my customer, and we are a volume-based business, so we need to flip many things in that price range. So if I were to break down into an analogy that people could understand, instead of selling RVs, sourcing RVs like those Prada boots, the Christian Louboutins, instead of sourcing RVs, those things that are going to bring you a lot of money in one shot, I am sourcing scooters. So instead of selling one RV a week, I want to sell 200 scooters a week. And that's kind of how my business model is for Three Queens. If you have a different business model, you want to sell, you don't want to sell scooters. You want to sell, and maybe not even scooters, because I want to be in that $20 to $35 range. So maybe bicycles. But if you want to sell cars, let's say, you don't want to sell bikes, you want to be in that $50 range, and sell, 20 cars a week, that's you. So kind of think of it in that's an analogy. I know we're resellers, like, so we sell clothes, but an RV would be like those Christian Louboutins, and a scooter would be like Gap jeans, or American Eagle jeans. So you can see leave your questions in the comments if you have them. So I've ID'd my customer, And then it talked about filling a gap in the market. Um, there is a gap for trendy plus size. There is a gap for men's. There is a gap for larger size shoes. So there is not a gap for free people and anthropology. I sell those things, but there is not a gap for them. So if I'm not going to spend a lot of money sourcing them, if I can get them cheaply and flip them cheaply or flip them for my, bicycle price range, I'll get them, but there's not a gap for them. So maybe plus size men's things and shoes are the things that we consider paying up for. Um, so that's kind of, made me think about that more. Um, they talked about getting a virtual address, which is something that I am going to do. Not that I'm like famous or anything at all, but I feel like if you are going to put your face out there on social media, like I've decided to do, I do have two children. This is our family home. I don't necessarily want people to come here and bother me, and it's a safety issue this day and age. It just takes one like crazy person like to come here and freak me out, or like I don't know, call my real phone. So not that I think that anybody is crazy, but better safe than sorry. Um, he talked about also the same thing with your phone number, like having a business phone number. It can ring to your phone, but there are apps out there that you can have a different phone number other than your real phone number, so people can't necessarily bother you. Um, and it talked about being a registered agent. There was a lot of information. I didn't get that. I don't know what that is. Like I don't remember. So I will have to like do some more research. But this is the page like building like the back end, the financial part of the business, and getting that so that it is stable and tax ready. Oh, credit cards. So and bank accounts. So having a separate business bank account, the QuickBooks locked in. We have a separate account for Three Queens Resale, but I have a credit card that is only for Three Queens Resale, but it's like in my name, like with my credit. So instead of that, we're going to get a credit card in the name of the business and start putting all of our things on that, just to kind of keep things completely separate. Like separate, don't commingle your business finances and your personal finances, um, and even with like the credit card. So um, like I said, I'm not a tax professional, and either are these people. I'm just repeating some tips that I got from that session. So after that session in block 3, I chose to go to the Posh Shows training. You had to go through the Posh Shows training so that you could sign up to do a Posh Live on the app. And so I went through that. I'm super excited about it. It is in beta testing. By the time my show is, it will be out of beta testing. So a lot of the features that like the bundle feature will come online. They'll have cleaned up the chat. It moves really fast. Like I was watching some shows last night and it would move too fast for me to read in real time. Um yeah, so I went through that process and I got scheduled for my first show. And so, general takeaways from Poshfest. So, first of all, I want to address just the overall um, attitude, I guess. One of the things that stuck with me that Manish said on the first day was if you lead with love, then money will follow. And I know that is an easy statement for someone who is probably a million billionaire. I don't know what his finances are, but he's doing well. He created this whole thing. So, but I also believe that I believe with anything, if you start with the right intentions and you maintain those right intentions, then positive things are going to happen for you. You're going to have positive outcomes, and I truly believe that. And so I generally like, I'm on Instagram and on all the socials, so I see the negativity, and that brings me to my second thought. Like, people can say what they want to say and feel what they want to feel about Poshmark, eBay, reselling, pre-owned fashion. They can say what they want to say, and you can decide what you give your energy to. You can decide to respond to it. You can decide, that's their opinion, and move on. And that's what I choose to do. Like, a lot of people are down on Poshmark right now. And that's what they might have had a bad experience. This whole algorithm thing, yeah, I didn't make as much money as I wanted to this summer during the algorithm, but and I don't know the back end. I'm not privy to the back end as to why Poshmark did that, but I don't think they were doing that because they wanted their poshers to lose money. I don't think that they want people to suffer. And maybe people did leave the app because they were like, this is bullshit. And that's their opinion. I'm more of a wait and see girl, and like, let's like give things time to shift out. But I'm an older lady. I can't move as quick as some of you young people. So, so everybody's got to do what's right for them, and I am here for that. I am supportive of that. And if you don't like Poshmark, okay, like I do. So, if you love Whatnot, okay, if you are killing it on Whatnot, I am happy for you. Like, seriously. Stephanie is not. Send her followers over to my show. And so I can kill it too. But that is that. And so one of my advice in my breakout session, we were asked to give the crowd one piece of advice, and so I got two for you to kind of wrap things up. Is one, consistency. Whatever you are going to do, actually I have three. Be consistent at it. Whatever you decide to do, whatever your goals are, mark them out, make a plan, and consistently and relentlessly go for it. Okay. So the second thing that I have is to not compare your journey to anybody else's journey. Like, we are all in this together, but we are not all going the same way. We don't all want the same things. We don't all want the same needs. I live in central Indiana, and I met a lovely group of ladies who are my new PFFs. We have a group chat. I love them. Hey, girls. We were talking about the price of eggs where we lived, and someone said that eggs were like $7 where they were, and I was like, what? Like, I live in central Indiana. Things are different here. Things are cheaper here. Property's cheaper here. So I don't know what you got going on, and you don't know what I have going on, but all we can do is just not compare. Just stay focused on your situation, and don't compare your package piles to anybody else's package piles, because you don't know how much they're paying for their inventory. They might be getting that for free. I'm really super duper jelly of the people in LA, because you guys have all these hookups. You have all these hookups for inventory that here in the Midwest I don't know about. If you are in central Indiana and you got some like wholesale like inventory, like straight from Ulta, like hookups, awesome. Tell me about them. I told people about the Amazon distribution centers we have here in central Indiana. When things get returned, there is like a Black Friday store that the things go to. They're all Amazon returns. And I mentioned that to people. I'm like, that's what we have here. But that is not new tags. That is stuff that people have like bought from Amazon and it wasn't right, or it didn't make it to the right house and it got returned. But if you got some new tags hookups here, let your girl know. Like, let me know. Like, share that with me. And so my last bit of advice, and I said this in my session, is fail forward. You are going to fail. You are going to have a bad day. You are going to have returns, and just learn from them. Pick yourself up. And, it used to eat me up. And, recently, eat me up if someone opened a case, because I take painstakingly efforts to get it right. And so for someone like to not want the item and open up a case used to hurt my feelings. Now I don't even when it's like, oh, so and so wants to open a case, I don't respond at all. I give it zero energy. Send it back. That's my thing. I don't want to fight. It's not about being right or wrong. You don't want it, send it back. If actually, I just started taking returns on eBay. If you're not happy with it, send it back. It's nothing personal to me. And I stopped taking it personal. In the beginning, it was very personal. If you don't give me a 5-star review, what's wrong with you, first of all? But everybody is looking at me. You might not like that I use UPS poly tieback things. You might not like that I don't personalize every thank you card. Maybe that's why you didn't have a 5-star experience with me. You can't make everybody happy all of the time, but I suggest that you fall forward. Fail forward. So when you mix up 2 labels, like I used to do all the time in the past, say, okay, this is a problem. That was a problem. I made a mistake. Figure out why you made it, put a system in place to correct it, and move forward. Don't lose sleep over it. Don't let you beat yourself up over it. Otherwise, you're going to give up and quit. So if you get one of those mindsets where you're like, I'm going to give up and quit, don't do it. Think, I'm going to learn from this, and I'm going to keep going. And that's what I got. I hope you guys... if you went to Poshfest, you had a good experience. You made some connections. If nothing else, you definitely connected with me because you are here. So make sure, if I met you at Poshfest, leave me a comment down below. If I met you at Poshfest, I do have all of your cards right here. I'm going to create a little like mailing list and like send you guys all an email and see if you guys want to be like in a monthly Zoom where we can just chit chat and build that community that they talked about and support each other and encourage each other and share new ideas about our businesses and how to grow, because that's what this is all about, is helping each other. We can all win. Everybody can win. There is not a lack of resources. There is not a lack of pre-owned clothing, shoes, and accessories out there. So we don't have to gatekeep from each other. We can all support each other in our reseller journey. And with that, friends, I will say goodbye. Make sure you hit that like button so we can get more reseller besties. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not. Until the next one. Oh, it's Vlogtober, so I'm going to have a video every day. So be here for it. I'll see ya. Bye-bye.